Right, so welcome everybody. It's a special treat today to have you guys here, and I can't wait for everybody to hear your story. Would you guys mind introducing yourselves?
Okay. Hi, I'm Alexandria. I'm the ballerina with multiple sclerosis. This is my little sister Alexis and my mom Claire. Hello.
Hi,
How
Claire.
are you guys?
Hi guys. Awesome. So I understand that you have a pretty amazing story to tell. Where does that story start?
Well, that story starts back in 2018, July. I happened to just fall and the symptoms of multiple sclerosis. I was paralyzed on both sides of my body. I couldn't speak. Wheelchairs, couldn't walk, couldn't talk. So lots of speech therapy. No one knew exactly what I had, but I was officially diagnosed a few months later, September 14th, with relapsing and remitting multiple sclerosis. And I didn't get out of the wheelchair until October 2018. But even then, I refused to use a walker, but I still did it, but I still walked, did my own thing. But I was doing a lot of research and I was reading about ballet, how ballet helps with your balance and ataxia. So I started to go for it. But before all this happened, in 2018, I just finished my first year as a high school biology teacher. And I was a realtor. I was going for my master's. I had everything was planned out up until I got MS, and things totally changed. It's a lot different.
Wow. Mom, did you have any idea that this was happening, or what was your experience like as this was happening to your daughter?
I had no idea what multiple sclerosis was until I found out she had it, but I did know that Montel Williams had it. Mm-hmm. So we really didn't know what to do. So we started doing research and I'm going to be honest with you, I was so depressed that it affected my life. I couldn't sleep. I got anxiety from it, panic attacks. It was very, very stressful to know that I couldn't help my daughter, because we're usually super mom. We do everything, and it was just so difficult to know that I couldn't help her. And I had to trust the hands of the doctors, Yeah.
Yeah. And what about your sister? What was it like going through, watching your sister suffer like that?
I actually was I was confused because we didn't know that she had multiple sclerosis. And this fall happened somewhere in late July for her to finally be diagnosed in September. And she had to go through multiple MRIs. I was questioning the whole thing. I said, what's really going on? How come we don't know? And the whole time it took a toll on me, just even understanding the fact that people say, the quote, you don't know how it feels until it happens to you. I finally understand that, I was just so torn. I had to feed my sister. Literally, there was a point where she couldn't even eat. So I'm like, hold her own spoon. I had to spoon feed her. I saw my sister in a wheelchair. I honestly, Alexandria, I really cannot believe that happened to you. Like, I can't believe it. It amazes me though that she is like this right now, because she was before this happened. Yeah. I felt that she was so perfect, and then I see that this happened to you, and I'm like, how could this be that you can't see? It just seemed like a terrible thing that was happening, and I couldn't understand why it was happening.
Must have been super scary for all of you.
Yes.
And what changed, I guess, when you started seeing doctors? What were the kinds of experiences like, going through the evaluations? Was it frustrating? Was it optimistic? How did that go?
It was frustrating because no one knew what to give me. I always say I was like a lab rat. We tried plasmapheresis. They tried, everything. But what worked is my Tysabri infusions. Mm-hmm. And that's what helped give me, I guess, some of my strength back. Mm-hmm. But it took a long time. Like even all these cognitive tests and everything changed mentally. Even the way I'm talking to you now, I feel like I'm slowing down my words. Mm-hmm. It's just things totally changed. I don't drive my car anymore. Mm-hmm. So I still struggle with even scrambling eggs, like the way your wrist turns to this very day, even going down the stairs. But I just put my focus and energy elsewhere. And that's ballet. And I can't believe I got point shoes last Monday. I mean,
Very proud of you.
So tell me the story. Tell me the story about ballet. When did that start, and how was it like to begin, and how has it been since?
Okay. I started January 2020. So crazy because, you know, the COVID happened. But anyways, I called this ballet place, Garden State Ballet, and I told her the truth. I was like, hi, I'm 29 years old. At the time I was 29. I have multiple sclerosis. I am a biology teacher and a realtor, and I just would like to try this out. I used to dance jazz when I was in 3rd grade and I was 9, and I loved it, and I want to give it a try again. So she said, yeah, come. So I went, and I slowly, gradually she started building up my times in class. Instead of twice a week, I would go 3 times and 4. Then COVID happened, but we still did it on Zoom. I even have a bar in my room. Yeah, I'm constantly following ballerinas all the time, and constantly stretching. To ask them. I'm always working out.
Yes. She stretches every single day, does not miss a beat. She stretches every day.
And more than once.
More than one time.
She makes me feel guilty.
She gets us to stretch with her too. So that's another thing.
That's great.
I'm happy with. She really taught us a new way of a lifestyle that I guess we should have all adapted to anyways, but it's nice that we're adapting now. So this new lifestyle of eating healthy, stretching, things that you're supposed to do on a regular.
Yeah.
That's what I appreciate about the disease, if anything. That's the good part.
Yeah, we learned how to eat. We learned that so many things play a factor in your health. And yeah, we have a new way of living now because of Alexandria. So she is inspiration in this family. Yeah.
That's really sweet. What a miracle to come of an uncomfortable, unpleasant diagnosis, to have really the whole family come together.
Yeah. So back last year, June of 2020, I decided to resign from teaching in real estate. Every time I try to go back, I end up getting a bit worse. And it took a long time because that's what I studied for. That's what, you know, everything led up to that. But I was a biology major, so survival of the fittest. I have multiple sclerosis, so I got to do what I got to do to survive. And I'm really, really, really happy with ballet. I think it's the best thing I've ever done. And speaking about with this interview, what helps me is medicinal cannabis. A lot of my pain subsided. The best way to describe my pain is if you ever got stung by a jellyfish.
I have.
Me too.
I haven't, so I have no idea.
Well,
not pleasant.
That's exactly how you feel all over. It's like an electrocute. You just have nothing could subside that pain. Not gabapentin, nothing that they gave me in the hospital. And I experimented when I left Kessler after a few weeks there. I did my thing, and I was like, wow, I'm actually, and then I don't know if it's mental or physical, but a lot of my pain subsides when I'm doing that. So
what kinds of cannabis are you taking? How are you taking it?
Sativa. I have to take sativa because I feel like it gives me energy to do the dishes, to do my stretches, and what else? And I prefer smoking it. I don't do edibles because, you know, they're not really gluten-free or dairy-free, so I just stay away.
You try and take good care of your nutrition as well as enjoy the relief from the cannabis.
Yeah.
How often are you consuming?
This has to be daily.
Okay. Is it more than once a day, or just once a day?
More than once a day.
Okay. And do you notice an effect in terms of timing? Is it happening right away, or is it delayed, or is there kind of improvement over time?
What do you mean by that?
Like when you're smoking this morning, are you feeling results this morning? And then
yeah, I do. I feel results within a few minutes. So now I'm able to make breakfast. I try to keep up with the house, right?
And I'm witness to it because I ask her every morning how she's feeling, and she said, I'm a little tired, and I could see it. And as soon as she does that, she comes back downstairs and she's like, all right, what are we going to make for breakfast? And let's stretch. And it's unbelievable from one extreme to the other. And I'm just like so proud of her. And I know that this does work. And
what was your original impression of the cannabis and the idea your daughter's bringing home this cannabis to try?
Actually, yeah, I didn't like it at all. It's funny that you asked me that. I'm just always concerned about the law, so I respect the law. So to put it out there, I was really afraid. I didn't want that in my house. And, but then I seen what it did for my daughter, and I'm all for it. And I did vote for it, and I'm glad it's come to pass that it's legal. So thank God, because there's so many people suffering with all types of diseases, and it does help them. It does.
Yeah. What about for you, sis? Did you have feelings about cannabis either way?
I honestly watched a lot of other documentaries, just not with multiple sclerosis, honestly, but with children that, had cancer. So I watched a lot of documentaries about how their parents would go out and treat, give their kids cannabis. So I started thinking of it way before that. I said, wow, that must be very, very helpful to those who are suffering. Because if they're going to give that to kids, and then the parents describe how their kids become better over time, with the use, I knew right away when she thought about getting into medical marijuana that was the right route for it. And I do see the improvements as well. And I know I believe it's medicine because it comes from the earth. So that's a whole nother reason. It's an amazing herb. And I am very happy that she does that, because if she didn't, I honestly don't know how she would feel today.
Right. I wouldn't be dancing in point shoes, that's for sure.
That's true.
I'm happy
Wow.
with that.
That really says a lot. It seems like this has really made a meaningful impact, not only in your life, but in your sense of recovery.
Yes, absolutely, without a doubt.
That's powerful. What do some of your other doctors think about your experience with cannabis?
Well, it was my neurologist that actually referred me, and my psychologist. They said they think they'll help me, because I also was very, with multiple sclerosis, you have an array of also mental issues. So I was very angry and, bitter and depressed. And it seems like when I'm under the influence, I'm not. And I have the energy to actually do normal things. Like if I want to wash my hair, I have the energy to do that.
Right.
With it. And not only that, I have a strict diet. So if I eat my raw veggies and all my fruits, it tastes even better. So
It's
amazing.
Yes.
So it sounds like the cannabis has helped you be a little bit more motivated to do with the things that you want to do. It sounds like it's allowed you almost physically to do those things, whether it's motivation or some kind of physical element. And then it also sounds like it has some emotional or psychological support for you.
Exactly.
Is that right?
That's right. And I started picking up piano in, September 2020. So I study that, I practice that, and I focus. I'm in the zone and do what I have to do.
Wonderful. Are there things that you feel like cannabis has taken away from you, or has brought that you don't like?
I just feel like a lot of people have, their stigmatism towards it, and being that I used to be in education, it just looks, it's kind of frowned upon, and that's it. And this I do it inside my comfort of my home, in my bathroom, privately. I would never step outside and do this. I still feel.
Because you think people might judge you for that.
Yeah, and in the smoking, it just doesn't look great. In my opinion.
No, I understand. And I think that's really sad that we live in that culture where people who clearly are enjoying the benefits and it's really helping you in an almost miraculous kind of way,
Right.
Still feel shame, doing what is helping you. I think that's a sorry state of affairs, but that's exactly why I want people to see your story and to realize we shouldn't punish people for helping themselves.
Yeah.
Exactly. I might add, she was always my shopping partner. So every time we went to the store, she would be the one that loves it. She lost patience with us when we shopped, but she's like my partner in crime with that. And I lost all that when she was diagnosed with MS and before she found cannabis, because she wasn't able to walk with me, around the store or stand on the line. She had to go sit in the car. So it was very depressing for me because, she's like, my daughters aren't my best friends, but I don't really have best friends, so they really are. You know, family is, this is what we have. And it really hurt all of us. I remember spending many days and nights crying with Alexis about this because it was horrible. I mean, I felt guilty to do things without her when she was in the hospital. And she'd say to me, Mom, don't worry, go in the pool. And I felt guilty as a mom to do that when she had to be going through all this suffering in the hospital. It was very hard to watch. It really was.
How does Alexandria compare now from when she was in your memory before the MS?
Oh my God. You know what? What I remember was just the sluggish and, before all of this, all the MS, my daughter was faster than all of us.
Oh my God.
First of all, she's a Gemini, so they are Speedy Gonzales. Okay. Everything she did so fast. And it went from that to she can't walk, wheelchair. Even the doctor told me, consider it. Kessler also told me, think about buying a wheelchair because she's not going to get out of it. And look at her now. Look at her now. You're right.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I thought my world was going down. I said, there's no way this is happening. Like she said, she was the most fastest woman on earth, it seemed like. And now even today, she cannot go down the stairs the way I go down the stairs.
Right.
You know, you don't even think about how you're going down the stairs until you watch her.
Right.
And then you say, I look back and I said, oh, you're behind me. That's a big difference. She cannot go down the stairs as fast as I'm going. And I'm not even going fast because she's really watching her steps, you know, like, and I just feel like that's a major thing that changed from the very first, since, you know, before being diagnosed, you were running down those steps, you know what I mean? And now it's always slower now.
It sounds like you're being careful.
She's being very careful.
Very careful. Yes. But different things, like it's the weirdest disease ever. We have a jacuzzi in the backyard. I can't go in it because I get overheated. Just like I love the summertime, I have to either be in the pool or inside AC. There's no tanning outside anymore. That's it.
She actually has a ice vest. So if we are all hanging out and barbecuing outside in the pool and she steps out, she puts an ice vest on.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, things like that a lot of things like that have changed
drastically.
Alexandria, have you had times where maybe you didn't have cannabis for a couple days and you could compare what that feels like for you as opposed to the time you have it?
Yeah. Tin Man, I don't know if you know the Wizard of Oz.
He knows.
That's me. I'm the Tin Man and my legs feel very, very heavy. And and I think I focus on my pain and I'm just very moody overall. And
And then without the cannabis, you feel like those almost peel away.
Then when I have the cannabis, my legs don't feel heavy anymore. I feel normal. You know, the stiffness went away. Now I could do my, plies. I could do my stuff.
For people watching who may not understand what any of this stuff means, like it's very confusing. I mean, it sounds like overwhelming for you. Imagine someone who's not really exposed to medical things. They don't understand this. Does it feel like it's all in your mind? Does it feel like it's in your body? Is it some combination?
I guess some combination. Like there's times when I'm dancing or even whatever I'm doing, my hand falls asleep. I could be on Instagram. My fingers still fall asleep. My toes still fall asleep. I don't get scared anymore because I'm used to it. You know, if I get a Charlie horse, I get it. I don't panic like how I used to. I think I got accustomed.
So it sounds like when someone thinks of a Charlie horse, we can all kind of relate to that. But sometimes for you, it happens randomly. And it sounds like before you would panic because it felt like it was out of your control.
Yeah.
And now, how has the cannabis played into that kind of stuff? When you feel either pain in your hands or your muscles, or you feel stiffness, how does having cannabis make you feel?
I don't pay mind to it. I focus on something else. If I'm under the influence, you could count on me practicing piano, practicing ballet. That's what I do. But
And you'd mentioned infusions before. We have a question from the audience. You're taking the medical cannabis as well as the infusions, or only one or the other?
Yes, both. Every 28 days, I have to go for my infusions. Have to.
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel? Did you have any infusions before you started the cannabis?
No, usually the days I get infusions, I don't like to smoke.
Okay. And why is that?
Because I'm already going to be sluggish. I'm going to be sitting down for an hour and a half. They give me stuff, and I already know that day I have to take it easy. Okay. So, yeah.
Understood. And do you feel like there's any concern, or have you experienced anything strange with the two of those together?
No.
Just business as usual. One doesn't affect the other for you.
Pretty much. Yes.
What has been the process for you to acquire the cannabis? How do you get it?
I get the cannabis through my doctor in Jersey City.
Mm-hmm. And so, does the doctor recommend specific choices, or do you?
No, but there's a facility. They have a dispensary. So you go there, you wait online, they check your ID. I get a little discount because, you know, I have multiple sclerosis, and I don't have to do anything. It already comes pre-rolled for me. I don't have to do all that additional work.
And then you pick up the cannabis, you pay for it, and then you can have it. I guess it sounds like you have it at home.
Yeah.
Great. And what happens if you run out?
I have to find a ride and go back to the dispensary.
You go back to the dispensary. You can get an unlimited amount, or are there limits to what you can buy?
I don't know. I never reached a limit, so.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I don't do it that much.
Understood. Have you had any experience with anybody judging you badly for the use of your cannabis? Or are people mostly celebrating that you're doing well with it?
Yeah, I think people are celebrating that I'm doing well. I think they're okay with it because I have multiple sclerosis. A lot of people saw me at my worst state, and I guess they get it. Like, I was worried too with my grandma, like, what is she gonna think? But she gets it. She totally understands, you know, different generations, but she gets it.
That must have been an anxiety-provoking process to see what she was going to think.
I don't want anybody to think that I'm dependent on this. Like, I don't want anybody to think that way of me and have this image. Like, no, this is what helps subside and ease a lot of my pain. And I'm able to live with some sort of, you know, under the influence, I feel somewhat normal, you know, it gives me some of my life back, some of it. But I still struggle. That's why I don't paint my nails anymore. It's hard to even do things like that. Even sewing my point shoes, my girls from class, they sewed it for me because I have difficulty with my hands. Like, it's just, you know, I don't like to dwell on that stuff. That's why I focus on other things.
Understood. Do you have other friends, I guess, or colleagues or associates who also have multiple sclerosis, people that you've met who are also using cannabis?
Yes.
And do you feel like there's a community there that, you know, either has supported you or that you can depend on?
Yes, the autoimmune community, like those, I have some friends that I met that have Crohn's disease, celiac disease, and this really, really helps them. And they're all like, I'm so happy it's legal now. Like, I don't have to feel paranoid or scared. And I think it's a really, really, really great thing. That's great. Awesome. Yeah, I know. My hope is that people will see you and really be inspired. I think your story is inspiring.
Yes.
For you to come from really not having any experience with cannabis and being struck by this, you know, awful circumstance, and then to be rising so far above it and really take so much, you know, wonderful control over it is really inspirational.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
No, and thank you for sharing your story. This has really been miraculous. I hope, you know, we'll get to see you again soon and watch your steady progress as things get, you know, hopefully better. Any other thoughts that we didn't cover or things that you wanted to share about your story?
That's all. Just go for your dreams and don't worry if you're different. Don't be scared. If anything, you might be an inspiration to others. I feel that way in my class. I'm in an advanced class. I can't believe it. And I got on point shoes a year and 3 months into ballet. It takes 2 to 3 years to get point shoes.
Now that's a miracle.
That's dedication and focus. That's really great. If
Yeah,
people
and I
wanted
have an
to,
awesome team, you know?
Support is everything. I
It
think
is.
with this,
Yes.
that's what it is.
You need a
if
great
people
support
want to follow your progress, where can they see you online?
Oh, you guys could see me on Instagram, on Twitter, and I also have TikTok.
What are your handles? What are your handles for those?
Okay, so let's go with my memory. So Instagram, it's Alexandria Gem 007. That's my Instagram. Then my Twitter is Alexandria MS Ballerina. Oh, sorry, that's my TikTok.
Okay.
Alexandria MS Ballerina. But my Twitter, my mom would have to go on her account.
And I don't have Twitter, so I don't know yours.
That's okay. If people want your Twitter, they can always reach out to us and we'll forward them on. But we got your TikTok and we got your Insta.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great. All right, guys. Thank you so much for spending this time. It's really a wonderful episode. I can't wait for people to see this.
Thank you. I can't wait
look forward to
too.
seeing again.
Thanks
My
for
pleasure.
having us.
Thank you
Of
so
course.
much for thinking about us.
Of course.
you.
All right.
Thank you
Thanks.
for inviting us, Doctor. Take
Positive
care.
Of course,
Thank
again.
you.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.